Hollywood loves to tell stories about overnight success, but it doesn't always tell you how some actors actually got there. From lying in auditions to completely fooling directors to one of the biggest casting betrayals you'll ever hear, these are the most chaotic ways celebrities landed iconic roles. Robert Redford asked 13-year-old Scarlett Johansson one simple question during her audition for The Horse Whisperer. Her answer wasn't exactly a lie, but it convinced everyone involved until it didn't.
Bob Redford said, "Have you ever been on a horse before?" And I said, "Yes, I've been on a horse before. They may have been plastic, you know." But I didn't tell him that. I just said I'd been on a horse before. I took him literally.
Yeah.
She technically didn't lie, but her innocent dynamic completely fell apart the second she actually arrived on set.
And then when I got the part and we started filming, the Wranglers called the casting director. My casting director called my agent, was like screaming on the phone. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
thought she knew how to ride. She's like, no, she told you she'd been on a horse before.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
Scarlett's answer was technically true. Mila Kunis wasn't nearly as subtle. For casting directors in television, hiring minors is a massive legal headache due to strict labor laws. So when that 70s show put out a casting call for actors who were at least 18 years old, a young Mila Kunis realized she had to bend the truth just to get in the room.
And the character's supposed to be 14, but in all television, they want you to be legally emancipated so you can work longer hours. And so I must have at one point said something to the extent of, yeah, they were like, "Are you 18? I must have been like, yeah, sure." If you watch the pilot, I'm clearly a child.
She completely tricked the producers into giving her the role, but her lie created an incredibly bizarre and uncomfortable situation on set once filming actually started.
He was your first real kiss, not a kiss on the cheek on that show.
From 14, he's
Right.
19. I mean,
Right.
there's something very...
No, that's weird.
You kissed him when there was that?
Be clear, he had to kiss me. I don't know who it's weirder for, the 19-year-old kissing the 14-year-old, the 14-year-old.
If somebody says to you, they say in show business, "Can you ski?" You just say, "Yes, I can ski."
Speaking of skating, Sean William Scott took that exact industry advice and ran with it to land Goon. He managed to convince the creators he was a natural on the ice, right up until camp started.
And I fucking lied hard. I was like, "Yeah, I can skate." They're like, "You sure you can skate?" I'm like, "Oh, come on. We're up in Minnesota." We get up to 2 weeks before we're supposed to start shooting the movie, and I did, we had skate, camp. And then when they saw me and I was like ankle skating.
He couldn't even perform a basic hockey stop, leaving the directors with no choice but to build his real-world clumsiness directly into the movie.
Because the only time I could stop is if I skated right into the boards. So they just incorporated that into the character.
Apparently, pretending to have a skill isn't the only creative way actors try to land major roles. Here's a fun fact about casting Titanic. Kate Winslet sent James Cameron a literal rose with a note to convince him she was perfect for the role of Rose. But it turns out, the gesture was completely unnecessary.
Kate Winslet sent me a rose. She said, "I am your Rose." Now, I've never told her this, but I'd already decided to cast her. Yeah. So she believes that she manifested that.
Sometimes, though, celebrities don't have to do the convincing themselves. They just need someone else willing to lie for them. Actress Margaret Qualley managed to secure a spot in Happy Gilmore 2 thanks to some serious family unethics and a shameless text message lie from her husband, Jack Antonoff.
I saw that there was an announcement like that there's going to be a Happy Gilmore 2. And I emailed my agents right away, and I said, anything it takes, no part is too small.
And then he sent a text to your husband, and the text says, "Jacko, it's Sandler. Does your wife golf at all? Yeah, she's actually good. No way."
I can't golf.
Wait, but what? You don't know how to golf?
He lied for the sake of the family.
With the fake credentials locked in, she had to resort to some pretty desperate measures just to avoid immediate exposure on day one of production.
First things first, I actually went out to the barn and I hit some balls with the woman who runs the barn. I took some lessons, but mostly I'm still bad.
Lying about your abilities is one thing. Lying about being a lifelong fan of one of the biggest TV shows ever is another. Before joining the world of Westeros, Olivia Cooke had never actually seen a single episode of Game of Thrones. But when producers made fandom a strict requirement for the sequel, she didn't hesitate to fake it.
Were you a Game of Thrones fan in the first place?
No.
Oh.
No, but I am now.
You are now. Did you tell them that when?
No, I pretended I knew.
Did they ask?
Yeah, that was our prerequisite.
They did,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
You have to be a massive fan.
And you lied.
And I lied, of course. I couldn't also ride a horse.
Once the role was officially hers, she had to binge watch years of fantasy television just to understand the world she was about to step into. These next stories cross the line into pure chaos, where actors completely hijacked iconic roles right out of the hands of other massive stars. For Michael Jackson's legendary Bad music video, the lead antagonist role was originally promised to Prince, until an unknown Wesley Snipes walked into the room.
Michael had told Prince that he had the role. And Prince actually was considered the lead character in the Bad video.
Right.
And Michael met me and then kicked Prince to the curb.
Right.
Snipes didn't just out-audition the music icon, he accidentally convinced Michael Jackson that he was a legitimate, dangerous threat.
Michael Jackson, when he met you, because you were playing gang member, he thought that you were in a gang.
Unfortunately, he did, sir. Michael Jackson, I think at the time, the great Michael, he hadn't spent very much time in the hood.
Yeah.
I guess he thought everybody was from the hood.
It's hard to imagine the Terminator played by anyone else, but Arnold Schwarzenegger only ended up with the iconic role after accidentally out-talking the movie's original choice, O.J. Simpson, during a business lunch.
Well, when I got involved, I remember they told me that it was O.J. Simpson was the Terminator, and I was supposed to play Reese. I was asked to have lunch with James Cameron. As I was sitting there and having lunch, for some reason or the other, I started talking more and more about the Terminator. So I kept talking like that the whole lunch, very enthusiastically, like an expert. So at the end of the lunch, he says, first of all, I totally agree with everything you say. He says, but I have to say one thing. I said, there's no one that will understand the Terminator better than you. I think we're all in agreement that you should play the Terminator.
At least Arnold earned his opportunity face to face. Pedro Pascal's story is much harder to defend. For a young actor, getting an established mentor to help you prep a massive 17-page audition script is the ultimate advantage. But when a fresh USC graduate brought a top-secret Game of Thrones script to Pedro Pascal, he had no idea he was handing over his own breakthrough role.
I was a mentor to a graduate of USC, an actor.
That's very nice of you, by the way.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice. Just
Okay.
wait. His first audition on tape, he wants my help with.
Okay.
And it's like 17 pages of a new role for Game of Thrones. He'd never seen the show. I was a huge fan. And I'm reading the sides, and I'm like, this is amazing. I was like, this is perfect for me.
Yeah.
He goes to the bathroom, and I text my manager like right away. It was terrible. Like,
So you texted and said, I want to go in for the same part that I'm helping this mentee.
yeah.
It's a textbook Hollywood backstab, and the most unhinged part is how he handles it today.
What is your current mentor-mentee relationship with that guy?
I should WhatsApp him after this is over. I could be like, I finally came clean, man.
We love Pedro Pascal today, but that was pure cold-blooded theft. So where do you draw the line? Was Pedro just being smart, or did he go way too far?